Yo. Yo. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Point Pleasant, New Jersey, 2008 for the third and final stop of the Geico Triple Crown, also part of the OPA National Series for 2008. Everybody from Geico, as well as the OPA and the Jersey Boy, have done an amazing job of putting together a great group of races this year for the Triple Crown so far. We've been in Ocean City, Maryland, as well as Patchogue, Long Island. With the OPA all year long, we've been in Ocean City, St. Clair, Harrison Township, Patchogue, and now we are in Point Pleasant, New Jersey. Very historic race for the Offshore Racing Series. Many races have been won and raced here in Point Pleasant since the 70s, and maybe before that. A lot of local hometown teams here. Freeze Frame Video, proud to be part of racing action here for over 20 years in Point Pleasant, New Jersey. There you see one of the local Jersey teams, Who's Your Daddy? Been at almost all the races with the OPA this year. 531, a classic Mirage. There is Ryder Racing Team Thunderstruck from Maryland running it in Class 5. Father-son team race in Team Ryder Racing. Who's Your Daddy, sponsored by the local Porsche dealer here in New Jersey. MainlinePorscheDealer.com. Ryder Racing been very competitive for their first year racing in Class 5. Father and son team has done very well this year. Proud to have them as part of the OPA. There is Team Doc Blood from Long Island, New York with their 30-foot twin outboard powered superboat. These guys have put on a great show all year long, done a great job. The second-year team with the OPA, there is Team Traffic Light Cleveland Construction, 37-foot Talon, all the way from Michigan, Ed Smith and Dave Skorsky aboard Team Traffic Light. There's the Smith brothers with CotnerTrailers.com, number 611, lining up some graphics on their boat there. There is Team Superheat from Long Island, New York, Chris Cox and Joey Imprescia aboard this 27-foot Kryptonite. You're going to have that. This is a 30-foot AMT Doug Wright Cat from Michigan. There's the Miss Geico safety rib built by Kruger Marine. Team AMF Geico brings this boat to provide safety for every team in offshore. There is the Caveman 51-foot Outer Limits Geico support boat. They also have their 42-foot Comanche. There is the Miss Geico Racing 44-foot MTI Turbine Marine powered. Mark Granite and Scott Begovich will be piloting this boat for John Higgins, AMF Offshore Racing, and Geico Insurance. There is the Miss Geico AMF Camp, always feeding everybody in the OPA. Big Scott Begovich over there, throttle man for Miss Geico Racing. Very special thanks to John Hagan and AMF for all they do to promote offshore racing. There you can see some more of the toys brought to you by AMF Offshore Racing. There is JD Byrider going to run in the Cat 750 class. Tony Marcantonio and Mark Kowalski will be in the cockpit of JD Byrider. Right next to them is Team Papa Dukes. Chris Carbone and Jay Wolpen will be in Class 5. There is Wicked Performance Marine. This is a 40-foot Motion maintained by Wicked Performance Marine in Brick, New Jersey. Jay Muller is the owner and throttleman, and Billy Moth is the driver. There's Team Talkin' Trash. Their 388 skater, Vinny Rafisi, is the throttleman. Jimmy Winters is the owner and driver. Sterling Powered 388 skater, done very well in their rookie season with the OPA. Team Talkin' Trash. Here's a great running 39-foot Sutphin P222 Team TKO from the Massachusetts area. There's Bob Teague's Team Amsoil, number 77, a 368 skater. Bob Teague, the owner and throttleman. Paul Whittier is the driver, running in the Cat Light class, here to compete against Motley Crue. Done very well this season in Cat Light. Has a great shot at winning in the Geico Triple Crown. 512, that is Team Specialized, another 30-foot superboat running pair of twin outboards. Last year's High Points champions in Class 5, as well as all of the OPA. Boats lining up, getting ready to go to the street parade right now. Team Who's Your Daddy rolling out. Here's the OPA support boat, Imagine That, classic 32-foot Tempest. There is Team Jersey Boys, Augie Penza and crew. Their 38-foot Scarab. There's big Augie right there. Local team here. Vice President of the OPA, the Jersey Boys AMF Offshore Racing. Large penguin in the boat. Is Team Superheat 552, 27-foot Kryptonite, Chris Cox and crew. New rookie team to the OPA, done very well this year. Here comes Doc Blood, their 30-foot super boat. Another Class 5 entry. Very strong entries in Class 5 all year long. Classic old school police car, maybe not running so well at this juncture. There's Ryder Racing Team Thunderstruck 553, the Ryder family from Maryland. Local hometown favorite here, Team What's Up. Ed and Anthony Smith from Smitty's Marine. 38-foot fountain runs in Class 2. Here comes the big Geico Caveman 51-foot turbine-powered Outer Limits showboat and pace and patrol boat. Another one of the arsenal for AMF Offshore Racing, Miss Geico. Here comes Miss Geico's 44-foot MTI. Mark Granite is the pilot. Scott Begovich is the throttle man, owned by John Hagen. It's got to be a great thrill for this team. Miss Geico, Scott Begovich, the throttle man, grew up here in Point Pleasant watching the races as a youngster and gets to compete here on the biggest stage in the fastest boat in the race to put on a show for all the fans and friends he grew up with. Congratulations to Scott Begovich for making it as far as he has, and good luck to them from Freeze Frame Video. There's big Scott Begovich hanging off the back of the boat right there with some of the AMF models. We will go airborne now. This will be race number 1 of 2 here in Point Pleasant, New Jersey. The 41 Apache pace boat along with the Miss Geico 42-foot Comanche pace boat will lead the boats around on a parade lap. Big, huge ground swell today. Leftover remnants of Tropical Storm Hannah should make for great racing action here in Point Pleasant. Historically, a rough race will be that again. Another big fountain pace boat coming onto the course to lead all the boats around on their parade lap. See some of the Class 5 boats. There's some Class 4 boats in there. The Jersey Boys, Augie Penton crew. Team Specialized is in there. Gumata, closest to the beach. First eye on the waters for some of these teams. There is Team Doc Flood from Long Island. Team Extreme all the way closest to the beach in their classic 35-foot cigarette. Team from Maryland. Very challenging waters for some of these teams. You can see it is a giant swell here in New Jersey. There you see Team Extreme in their 35-foot cigarette, going to be running in the Class 3. Billy Wetmore, Todd Harper aboard all year long. These guys have been out there. Mike Young is in the navigator seat this weekend. Sponsors include Turkey Point Marina, Cancun Cantina, as well as Mona. Todd Harper is the owner and throttleman, pushing the boat along there. Now we're lined up with the Class 4 and Class 5 boats right here. The Jersey Boys, the big boat of the fleet right there in the middle of the picture. Team Extreme all the way closest to the shore. Superheat right in the middle of your screen. Ryder Racing is there. Gumata, Specialized. Here comes Team Bounty Hunter with their classic 35-foot cigarette 451. lining up with the pace boat right now. Closest to us, Team Dockflood comes into your picture. Making their way around the race course. At the south end of the course right now, boats rounding the pins here. Team Bounty Hunter, Billy Martin Jr. and Senior aboard, as well as Carl Marcinkavich is the navigator. The Geico Caveman pace boat there. Seems to be just a little bit calmer here on the backstretch, a little bit further offshore. The waves aren't quite rolling up the way they were closer to shore. Just finishing up with the parade lap here. We are green flag now. Here is Specialized Racing in Class 5. Very strong running, 30-foot superboat. These guys were your 2007 High Points champions in the OPA. Coming down now on a 30-foot superboat. This is Eddie Simmons and Mark Henderson in Team Outrageous, number 568. Very strong running team. Had a great year this year in contention for the Triple Crown Series Championship. Team Outrageous running strong from Virginia, owner and throttleman Fast Eddie Simmons with Mark Henderson of New Jersey at the wheel. Coming down now on Class 3, this is a 36-foot Cigarette Gladiator from Ocean City, Maryland. Walter Piasecki is the pilot. Big Bill Purnell is the throttleman. Sponsored by the Atlantic Hotel in Ocean City, Maryland, as well as Allied Construction. These guys have done very well. Last year they were the national champions in Class 3 and are looking to add the Geico Triple Crown Championship to their list of accomplishments. Bill Purnell been around for many years, as has Walter Piasecki. These guys, veterans in the sport, doing a great job working their way around this rough water course. Team Wanted in their 36-foot Cigarette Gladiator, powered by a pair of Mercury Racing 525 EFIs with Bravo Drive. You can see them working through the big swells right there. Team Wanted doing a great job here in Point Pleasant, New Jersey. They got a great battle in Class 3 going here. This is 340, you're in command, vote responsibly. Team Vote Responsibly Offshore Racing, sponsored by your U.S. Coast Guard. Also sponsored by Red Devil Energy Drink. Gino Marone is the owner and driver. Glenn Wilson, the throttleman, is a 39-foot Dragon, powered by a pair of Mercury Racing 525s coupled to the Bravo drives. Number 340, Team Vote Responsibly. Great battle going in Class 3. These guys have had a great battle all year long with Vote Responsibly Wanted. You're going to have that and Bull on the Beach. Right now, out front is Team Boat Responsibly, number 340. There you see Wanted rolling up alongside here. Great battle, two big V-bottoms in Class 3. Both of these former Super V-class entries battling in Class 3 now. Gino Marone and Glenn Wilson up against Walter Piasecki and Bill Purnell. Coming down now on 321. This one is Team Extreme. As we talked about earlier, this is a classic 35-foot cigarette. Billy Wetmore, Todd Harper aboard. Along with Mike Young, who is riding in the navigator seat. The 1988 35-foot cigarette sponsors include Cancun Cantina, Turkey Point Marina, SMC Services, Wetmore Electric, and Mona Electric. You can hear Todd Harper working the throttles, those big MDG inboards. Team based out of Edgewater, Maryland. Todd Harper, your owner and throttleman. Billy Wetmore, the driver. And Scott Church and Mike Young share the navigator duties. These guys are always here for the show and ready to have fun. Guys definitely always put on a show for the fans. This high-flying 35-foot cigarette, Team Extreme. On board with Team Extreme right here. You can see Todd Harper working the throttles and Billy Wetmore at the wheel and Mike Young keeping them on course. Coming down now on the battle in Class 4. This is Bounty Hunter and AMF Ladycraft side by side. These two boats battling it out for the Triple Crown Championship. Brandon Willie and Kevin Cooper aboard Ladycraft. Billy Martin Sr., Billy Martin Jr. aboard Team Bounty Hunter. Aboard Bounty Hunter as well, Carl Marcinkavich is your navigator. This is a 1979 cigarette V-bottom with twin 600 horsepower inboards. Another local New Jersey team. This classic cigarette, been around for many years. Former Class 1 open class race team from many moons ago. Great to have the Martin family back on the race course with the OPA and in the Geico Triple Crown Series. These guys got a great run going here, trying to take the championship, the Geico Triple Crown, all the money that goes along with it. Great to see this father and son team back on the race course here doing battle with the OPA. Other Class 4 boats here are Jersey Boys, Simmons Marine, and Ladycraft. All doing battle here in Point Pleasant for the 2008 Point Pleasant Grand Prix, part of the Geico Triple Crown Series. There you see Ladycraft AMF trying to catch up, a little bit bumpy water for the 29-footer against the big cigarette here, but Kevin Cooper and Brandy Willie from the West Coast, California and Washington respectively, are used to this big swell similar to what they raced on in the Pacific. AMF Ladycraft took the checkered flag earlier on this year in Ocean City, Maryland in the big conditions there. They weren't so lucky in Patchogue, Long Island, but have a great shot at this championship for the Geico Triple Crown. The Super V Light former race boat with the Mercury Racing 525 and the Mercury Racing NXT drive. Sponsors include AMF Offshore Racing, Gibson Exhaust, the Ladycraft Powerboats, and Mercury Racing. Number 477, AMF Ladycraft, Brandy Willie at the wheel and Kevin Cooper on the throttle. Down now on 324. This is You Are Gonna Have That. 30-foot Doug Wright AMT catamaran powered by a pair of Mercury Racing 2.5-liter outboards, based out of Michigan. Brian Klinick is the owner and driver. TJ Grunwald is the throttleman. These guys run strong all year long. Great to have them on the OPA circuit, making all the trips out from Michigan to race here in New Jersey, New York, Maryland, and everywhere else. Sponsors aboard, you're going to have that include Uptown Electric, Tacos, Taylor Ford, Blue Water Industrial, Matco Tools, Vicious Custom Marine, Profile Manufacturer, and Gooley Cadillac. This is TJ's 4th season of racing and Brian's first. They are currently first in points in Class 3 through the first 3 races of the OPA Series. Mike Davies is the crew chief, TJ Grunwald on the throttles, and Brian Klinick at the wheel. Class 5 Team Papa Dukes right there. Jay Wolfram, the throttle man. Chris Carbone, the driver. And Jimmy Winters is the owner of this 30-foot activator Class 5 boat. You guys had some great runs this year. Still kind of working the kinks out of this new boat. Local team based out of Brick, New Jersey. Team Papa Dukes. Jay Wolfram on the throttle, Chris Carbone at the wheel, 513, Team Papa Dukes. Working their way along the backstretch here in Point Pleasant, New Jersey, hometown race for these guys, putting on a show for all their friends and fans.